Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Fantastic. This is Monica Howard with Monica Howard Social Media Services. Thank you so much for joining me live today. We're on Facebook. We're also on YouTube. I hope all is well. I hope everybody is still staying safe. We've been managing, the coronavirus situation. I hope everybody's doing well with that. Hope everybody's doing well with the current social justice movement and then staying safe in the midst of that as well. We got a lot going on, y'all. Again, this is Monica Howard with Monica Howard Social Media Services. We help Gen X and older small business owners increase and manage their social media currency. So I just want to check a couple of things to make sure we are doing what we need to do. Let's see here. Going to put that up there. Okay, just want to make sure we're rolling well. I'm going to be checking the comments today just to make sure that everybody is getting their information in. If you have anything that you want to comment or, add to the conversation, please feel free. We want you to do that. I'm going to be bringing on a guest in just a minute, but let's just go into what we're talking about today. We're going to be discussing your digital currency in the second half of the year. So as business owners, we all know how important it is to have our presence available to our customers and our current customers on social media, online, on our website, just to have a digital presence. But there are some things that you need to do to make sure you're doing it well, right? So I'm sure everybody had a plan, or at least you thought about making a plan. Back in 2019, we had 2020 coming up. We were really excited about those things that were going to be taking place. And you made a social media plan and you said, okay, I'm either going to update my website or I'm going to get my website going in 2020. We're going to do these things. And you had these, you had everything in place and you had your goals created. And then 2020 hit. And we had a lot going on, right? We had a lot of things that we had to deal with. We had a lot of things that we had to manage. I get it. I was right there with you. But what we want to do today is we're going to kind of shake that off. I need everybody to shake that off. It was what it was. It is what it is. But you still have a business to run. And when it comes to your digital presence, we want to make sure that for the remainder of 2020, you are running it well. So we're going to refocus, or for some of you, focus for the first time. And we want to make sure that you are renewing your efforts to attract your audience and keep them engaged online. Okay, so before we get started, let me just check the comments to see if anybody is saying anything thus far. Okay, I don't think so. No. All right. So let's do this. I want to bring to the stage my guest for today. Hi, Kim.
Hello.
Jan.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So everybody, this is Kimberly Inez Mays. She is an online brand consultant and web designer with Foolishly Creative. Welcome to our live today, Kim. Welcome, welcome. Why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So, thanks for the introduction. So, my name is Kimberly Inez Mays. I also go by Kim as per my initials. And what I do is I help small business owners, primarily coaches, professional speakers, authors, influencers. So if you consider yourself a thought leader, you are in the right place because I do help those groups of people elevate their online presence. And what I mean by that is by doing their websites, making sure that they have a cohesive home online and integrating that with all of the other systems needed to effectively market to their ideal clients so that they can be known, like, and trusted. So I've been in business, or I've been doing business with Foolishly Creative for about 3 years now. I think it's been going on 3 to 4 years, I think 2017. So I have a whole bunch of experience before that, but prior to that, I've been dabbling in email marketing, design, you name it. If it's online, I've been doing it. So it's a real passion and a pleasure for me.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So I guess we're going to get started. Before we get started with that, let me just double check some things to make sure that everything is working out today. Let's see here. Let me just check a couple of places. Okay, great. That's where it needs to be. And let's also check. Just give me 1 second, guys. We had a little bit of an issue yesterday. I'm sure some of you all know, but I'm just trying to make sure we are doing what we need to do in the place we need to be showing up here today. Okay, and I didn't see it there. Okay, well, it says that we are. Okay, one more thing. Okay, great. Fantastic. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to talk today about social media. We're going to talk about web design. Those two things, they go together like peanut butter and jelly when it comes to increasing your online visibility. So we're going to talk about how you can do some of the things that you can do and how you can help yourself for the remainder of the year. And we're going to start with one question to you, Kim, today. We're going to start talking about web design first, okay? And one of the questions that I get on a regular basis when I'm talking to a current customer or when I'm talking to a potential customer is we're talking about social media, and then they'll say to me, well, do I really need a website? I mean, if I can put all this on social media, do I really need to, even bother with a website? Talk to us a little bit about why that's still important.
Yeah, and I get that question too, even from people who reach out to me to do business with me. And it's funny that, that question keeps coming up, but I think it's kind of a good one to answer because social media and websites, they play together nicely, but they have two distinct purposes. Social media, I see it as it's a way to engage with people, to socialize really. And then the website is really your online home for your business. So your website, you get to really control what is being displayed there, what is being put out, because a lot of organizations, especially if you're applying for grants, speaking opportunities, if you are asking for services that are over a certain price point, people want to vet you. People want to say, hey, is this a legitimate business? Can I know, like, and trust this business? Can I give them the money? And even if they find you on social media, they're going to go back and say, all right, well, they're asking for this program, they're asking for this price. I never heard of this business. Let me go check them out.
Right.
So really, I say your website is central and is so powerful because it's a marketing tool. It's not something to just be displayed as pretty, but it's really giving you the opportunity to talk to people who would be great fit for you to help.
Absolutely. And you know what? Here's what's interesting. And any business owner who has applied for PPP, who applied for the EIDL, part of that process was they wanted to vet you. The government was vetting you guys. So if you went through that process, one of the questions on the application was, what is your website address? Where are you online? So that was a part of their vetting process as well. So very good points on that. Absolutely. So let me go to this next question. And you know what, before we move on to that, let me say this as well. As far as that's concerned, guys, we are in 2020. And a lot of times now, when someone is looking to do business with you or purchase from you, purchase your product or purchase your service, especially if they find you on social media, they're going to go and they're going to look at you on social media. They're going to go to your page and, see if you're really current on your information and, see if you filled out your profile correctly and have information there. And they're going to do all of that on Facebook. But if they are really interested in you as a company, they're going to then go to your website. That's like the second step Okay, well, she's got a Facebook presence. She's got an Instagram presence. Let me dig a little bit deeper. When they're ready to dig, they're going to go to your website. And so you want to make sure that extra layer, that website is where you're really going to present yourself. There's only so much you can do on Instagram. There's only so much space you have on Facebook. But when it really comes to your digital home, you really need to have that presence with your website. So make sure you do that. But let me go on to another question. And this is a question for me too. I want to know, Kim, as far as aesthetics are concerned, give us one or two ideas about like website components that people tend to forget about or genuinely don't know they should have on their site.
Yeah, so there are many, but I think the biggest thing is a clear call to action that is missing. And you have to remember, just because you look at your site and you probably visit it several times a day doesn't mean that your visitors are doing the same thing. Actually, they only will spend about 6 to 10 seconds before deciding to go elsewhere. So they need to know upfront what you do, who you do it for, why should they stick around, and more importantly, what's the next step. So that should be high on the screen before they need to scroll down, so that they get it instantly and will stick around to look. And another thing that's really important is just having some way to collect email addresses, having some way to keep in touch, because a lot of times people will visit a site and they won't come back. Even if they see something they like, unless you're running some sort of blog that they are really interested in, you're publishing frequently, the chances are that once they leave, they're not going to come back. So having an email address and opt-in form will allow you to keep in contact with them, and just making sure that you establish that relationship beyond that session. So I say those are the two most important things: is just having a purpose, having a clear call to action, and having some kind of way to extend the relationship beyond just the visit.
Okay, and I'm taking notes. I hope you all are taking notes. If you haven't figured it out by now, she's giving away some really good gems. So make sure you're taking notes on this. Now, I do want to ask you a question. I want to clarify something. I know you talked about having a way to get people's contact information, so that that form. I just want to clarify, though, you're not talking about, as you remember back in the day, and we still have it sometimes, there was that form on the website that you would actually go to a contact us page, but you're not talking about that, correct?
No, I'm not. I'm talking about an email opt-in. So this is before they are ready to buy from you. So let's say you are giving away a free PDF downloadable of whatever, your business does. You give away a little bit of information in exchange for an email address. And this is called a lead magnet. And it's really attractive. It's really popular. You've seen it at pop-ups, whether they are pop-ups when you visit the site or pop-ups when you're ready to leave the site. Sometimes they're on the actual site itself. And what that does, it establishes some rapport. So you get, or the visitor gets, that item. Maybe it's a free training. It could be even a webinar or event. It doesn't have to be a PDF. And then you get, as a business owner, their email address to continue that relationship, to nurture them, and to get to know, like, and trust. So it's different than a contact form. A contact form is, okay, I'm ready to buy, or I'm considering buying. And this one is just, okay, give me a little info. I'm willing to give away my email address, see what you're about, and to usually it's a kind of what's in it for me situation where you you just take this thing. Sometimes you'll read it, sometimes you won't, just to be honest. But that is one way to really keep in touch.
Okay, perfect. So we got the CTA, call to action, and then we have the form on the website, the pop-up form. Okay, so let's go to another thing. Now let's talk about SEO, search engine optimization. Let me tell you something. I've tried, and I know search engine optimization a little bit. I know a few basics, but I know that it can go deep. And more than that, it's really important that it's incorporated into your website. But let's back up a little bit, because when you talk about SEO, you talk about search engine optimization. If you ask 10 people, well, what is SEO? You're going to get 10 different answers. So why don't you tell us what SEO is and why it's an important part of the web design or web development process?
Yeah, so I try to make complex really simple and easy to understand because, like you said, there are so many layers and complexities that go into SEO. But really, I say it's making your website searchable by Google, Bing, and other search engines so that they know what your website's about. So that when somebody enters a phrase, then it can say, okay, well, this phrase matches your site, and they will show that site in the list to when somebody does the search. So that is pretty much my super simple explanation of it.
Yes.
And there are ways to optimize your website for SEO. You don't have to be a tech guru. You just have to really be in tune with what your ideal client is looking for and what they need. So for example, if somebody is looking for web design, right? They're not going to type in, I need SEO if they don't know what SEO is. They're going to say, okay, I'm looking for a website for coaches or branding for coaches. Those are some of the keywords that I try to rank for. And so just knowing what somebody would put into their own words, I'm then able to use those headlines in my copy and also in page titles and things like that, so that Google, when it crawls all of the websites, and crawl just means it kind of searches through and from link to link, when it indexes and crawls through that, it says, okay, well, this might be a good fit for somebody who is searching for that. So that's pretty much it in a very, very simple term. But I think that people just need to be cognizant of the copy on their site, right? Some industries have a lot of jargon, and these jargons are not what customers understand or are looking for. So I think the temptation is to be as impressive as possible, but you lose people. So I would encourage anyone to say, all right, pay attention to your copy, use the words that people are looking for, and use headlines. Headlines are huge. Headlines not only help you rank better, but also it's just easier to read. Most people will not read all the way through, kind of skim around a little bit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So headlines, that's a big deal. The great thing about headlines is that it kind of forces you to have like a little bit of white space between, some of the wording and some of the copy. Okay, guys, this is web design. This is copywriting, and also social media. Stop it with all the wording and the paragraphs. Nobody's going to read all of that. Can I just be blunt with you? Mm-hmm. When you're writing for your website and for social media, write for your client, not for yourself. And just like you were saying, Kim, a lot of times, we want to be impressive and, tell everybody everything. Here's the thing. People have short attention spans, and they're not going to read all that. They just won't. Think about yourself. If you go to a website and it has a lot of copy, are you going to read that? No, I'm not going to read it either. So think about your audience. Think about your potential client. What do they need? What do they want? Keep it simple so that people will want to stay on your website and learn more, because you're keeping it simple, you're getting to the point, and you're not bogging them down with a lot of stuff that people, when they go to your website and they see a lot of copy, it's like a deer in headlights, and they're like, yep, on to the next. So that be you. Okay. All right. Oh, let me check. We are good with that. Okay. All right. And guys, if you have any questions about any of this, please type it in the comments. We will do our best to answer any questions that you have. So let me take it to the next question. And this is also about the components that you have on the website. But this time I want to go to the other end of the spectrum. Is there anything that was really popular or really trendy in the past, like even last year or a couple of years ago, that will be a definite no-no in 2020? Anything that folks just, don't do that anymore. You just need to get rid of.
Yeah. So I think it was always kind of frowned upon a couple of years ago to have too much on the page, too much flash. But even more so now, I see the trend going to more simple, basic page. basic pages. So sometimes I get asked to make things very busy, and then I have to scale it down a lot. So what I mean by busy is a lot of animation, excess animation, or excess things that make a website really slow. Like, and I'm going to say video, but video is actually a good thing too, but it has to be relevant video.
Mhm.
And it also has to be video that's not going to slow down the loading page. So there's ways to host a video elsewhere so that the rest of the page can load. And I think it's just a lot of like flash, and I think they're moving away from shadows and gradients, but everybody's design choices are different. What I kind of recommend is just having a singular focus on the page, and you can do whatever you want with it. But yeah, I think if there's just too much stuff on the page, too many buttons, too many things to press, that definitely does take away from the functionality of the site.
Okay, let me ask you this, because I know that a while ago there was this focus on when you're designing a page and the content,
Mm-hmm.
make sure that the most important information was on that real estate above the fold. Is
Yes,
that
absolutely.
still relevant?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's still important, especially because I don't have a stat in front of me, but I would say most of the times things are viewed on mobile. So it may look great on a wide screen because you got all that space, and it doesn't take a lot of effort to scroll down. But when you're on a mobile device, you don't want people's thumbs to get tired because they're not going to scroll through everything that you have.
Right.
So it's just really making sure that the site is optimized for mobile, making sure that it loads fast, because at home, people are on high-speed connections and it's fine. But when they are outside, then they're on their cellular data, loads slower,
Yeah.
and then they get frustrated and leave, and it's not a good experience. I would also say mobile first. So think of ways that you can optimize it for different types of screens.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I hope you guys are getting this. You definitely need to consider that people are looking at most of their digital information now on their mobile device. So before you step out there and try to design your own website, consider, do you know how to make that manageable? Do you know how to do that piece? Do you know how to make sure that they are seeing what needs to, because it's not just as simple as let me create a website and then it'll look good on somebody's mobile phone too. That's not how this works. So if you need to reach out to Kim to help you, I'm going to put up her contact information in just a few minutes, but yeah. Okay. Make sure you're taking notes. It's good stuff. This is good stuff. Okay. Let me ask you this, and this is kind of social media and this is web design. What mistake do most people make when they're attempting to integrate social media into their website?
Yeah, so I think the mistake that they're trying to make is not having a clear focus on what they want people to do. Because sometimes they'll have, and I do have feeds that go into websites as well, but usually that's on the about page. So I think it's just making it too busy, saying, okay, we're in too many different places, follow me here, follow me there, and not really taking the time to focus on the core services first. They may be after those vanity metrics. I think that we had also talked about too. That it's like, oh, follow me. And that should not be a call to action, because I mean, yeah, they could follow you, but that doesn't necessarily do anything. So I think it's just putting it, overemphasizing it. You definitely want the shares now if you have a blog or something, but the follows could be towards the bottom, or just contact us, things like that. But I think if it becomes more of the focus to get the likes, that's probably a mistake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and there was actually a couple of times when I have a customer, I'm not only looking at their social media, but yeah, I'm going out and I'm checking out your website. I'm seeing what you got going on. I'm seeing how you've integrated those two things. And one of the things that I notice, which I'm always surprised about, is people don't check links. So they'll put the Facebook or the Instagram icon up on their website and didn't bother to connect the two.
Mm-hmm.
So when people go to your website, yes, guys, if you have a Facebook page, they're going to click it. And if it goes nowhere or goes to a this is not working page, then that lends to the credibility of your business. So make sure that's always working when you're adding those social media connections and integrating those things. So now we're going to kind of shift gears a little bit. Let me just check the comments, make sure. Okay, and again, guys, if you have questions, please send them in. We will answer them for you. Let's transition a little bit to social media. So we talked about web design, and of course, again, these things go hand in hand, peanut butter and jelly. Yes. But let's talk a little bit about social media. And it's so interesting that you talked about those things that people focus on, those vanity metrics. I kind of want to talk about that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk about that being one of the things that you need to kind of get clarity on as you move into the second half of the year. Focus on the right metrics, or if you've never looked at it before, just focus on metrics anyway. Because a lot of people will create their content and post all over the place. They're on Facebook and they're on Instagram and they're on LinkedIn, and they never bother to go and check out what kind of hold on just one second. They never bother to check out what kind of impact their content is making outside of, did somebody like it? Guys, there is so much more to the impact your content can have past likes. As a matter of fact, likes is just that. It's a vanity metric. And what I mean by that is it'll make you feel good. It does. But you have to ask yourself, what does it do other than that? Past that, what does it do? And a lot of times it doesn't do anything but just make you feel good. So my suggestion is to do more than that. First of all, I want you to go back when you're creating your content and you need to ask yourself, what do you want this content to do? So the same way you create goals for your business. Let's say you decide, you know what, I want to sell 15 more of this next month, or I want to sell, 25% more of whatever the case may be. You need to do the same thing with your social media content. So what kind of engagement do you want? Do you want someone to click something? You talked about this earlier, Kim. Do you want people to download something that you've created? Is that what you want? Do you want people to buy more of your t-shirts? Do you want more downloads? Do you want people to share more of your information with the people they're connected with? What do you want them to do? Here's a biggie. How much traffic are you getting to your website because of something you posted on social media? Kim, can you speak to Google Analytics and how important that is with connecting social media to your website?
Yeah, so I personally really love Google Analytics because number one, it's so robust. Number two, it's free. And so there are ways to see which piece of content drove traffic. Mm-hmm. And that's a little bit more complex. It involves parameters at the end of a link. But what you can do if you're kind of a newbie, you can even look to see what platforms most of your traffic comes from. So and you can make your marketing decisions based off of that. So for example, I get very minuscule amount of traffic from Pinterest. So I'm not going to go start pinning a bunch of stuff and putting my time and attention to that. But I get like at least 75% from Facebook and maybe a little bit from Instagram too. So I'm going to put more into Facebook because I can actually see those analytics. But without seeing it, I couldn't make those decisions to where to put my time into. And on the content side, once you get a little bit more advanced, there are ways to tag a piece of content with just the value that you're familiar with and can trace back and say, okay, well, these types of posts, these types of messages are what's bringing people into the site. So you can do more of that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So guys, again, I hope you're taking notes. Please take notes. This is some good stuff, good gems that you're getting today. So definitely, again, I just want to reiterate, you're not posting content just to be posting. There is a method to the madness. There needs to be an end game. in sight. You want to post content to get comments because, of course, that will lift your content so that other people can see it, but you want people to share it. You want to get your phone ringing. You want to get your calendar full with potential clients wanting to talk to you about that service. That's the reason you're using social media, and that's the reason you're putting content out there. But if you're just posting all willy-nilly, we got to talk. Call me. Talk about that. Okay, so I want to move on. We talked about video and how it can have an impact on your website, both positively and negatively. But I want to talk about video content when it comes to social media. And I think this is really important because I continue to have conversations with people, and I'll admit it, even some of my current clients. And I've been trying to get them to understand the importance of dipping your big toe into the video pool. And so what I want to do, let me just give you guys some stats so you really understand how important video is. Hold on, let me change this. Let me give you some stats. Okay, listen to this. YouTube is second only to Facebook in terms of active users. That's number one. Okay, so yes, Facebook was the first one. You know, it's the big man on campus. It was the first social media application out there. Everybody's using it. Everybody's still using it. Even though some people say, you know, I don't use Facebook anymore. Yes, you do. Stop it. So, but YouTube comes second to Facebook, not Instagram, not TikTok, YouTube. Okay, here's another piece of information. 82% of consumer internet traffic will come from online videos by 2022. So that means that most of the traffic that's coming into your site, that's coming onto Facebook, what have you, is going to be coming because people are coming to look at your videos. 82%, right? Video consumption through mobile devices increases by 100% every year. If you have not considered or really seriously consider getting onto or doing some type of video content on your social media, you are missing out. And you're going to continue to miss out, guys. Let me read that again. Video consumption through mobile devices, guys. Most people, when they're on social media or what have you, they're on their mobile device, right? Most people, video consumption through mobile devices increases by 100% every year. Here's another piece. How about this? Videos outperform image posts on Facebook by 73%. If you're still not convinced that you need to figure out this video content, most people are looking at, if they're scrolling through, right? They're going to stop on a video before they stop on your post that just has a picture. Okay. And one last thing, even on Instagram, this social media application was created for images, but here's what's real. Videos outperform images on Instagram by 38%. It's still outperforming. Okay. And Instagram and Facebook, they know this because now I'm sure everybody's heard of IGTV. And they haven't really done much with it, but they are picking it up and they're trying to make more of it this year going into 2021. Okay. So my point is, if you have not really and truly sat down to talk to somebody about how you can, you know, get your video content going on for your business on social media, you're missing out. You need to have that conversation. Okay. If you're not putting video on your website, and I'll admit it, I have not done it yet. I mean, I've got a couple of videos of things that I've done. It's kind of tucked away in places. But as far as putting video like on my homepage and utilizing that in the best way, Kim, in the best way, but utilizing that, that's something I've got to take into consideration. I've got to get it done. I'm encouraging you to do it too. Okay. If you don't do video, you're missing out. I think I said that enough. Okay, so make sure you are in that. Let me check the comments. Okay, Shawnee's saying, I'm so glad. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so let me go on to and we've already talked about this. I wanted to talk to Kim about video presence on website. On the websites, let's see. Do we have any data? I don't know if you know anything off the top of your head about any performance data concerning people with videos on their websites versus people without. Do you have any idea about that?
I don't have any concrete statistics, but I know from an SEO perspective, videos rank higher. Pages with videos can rank higher. So, they really prioritize the videos as well. And I just think I have to kind of go back and look, but, when in terms of engagement and time on the page, if somebody's watching a video, that is time on the page as well, too. So I definitely encourage that. And I just wanted to kind of add too, because you said some people are really adverse to doing videos, and I understand why. It's not always comfortable to have people watching you, especially live. It's like, oh, you're on. And my good friend, she told me, Kim, yes, make live videos and then use that for your ads, which is totally another thing. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just getting a comfort level, just doing it, even if you don't feel entirely comfortable. Right. Because what I see happening is I see a lot of people, they want that fancy influencer video that, you go to somebody's website, they're on a stage and now they're doing this and it transitions seamlessly. They have a team of videographers, makeup artists, and everything else like that. But I think to get started, people just want to see you show up and speak. So it doesn't matter if you stammer over a word, you mess up. I've done it many, many times. I've had cats jump in the camera. It's fine. You're good. You're your own toughest critic. If you do a live video, just do it, get it over with. Don't even worry about who's on, just do your videos. And if you do a recorded video, don't watch it back unless you said something offensive, that you shouldn't have said. But, just upload the thing and just get it done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I agree with you. I think we need to get past trying to be perfect.
Yes.
I think that's, we see, of course, we watch television, we see all these other people on Facebook and on YouTube, and you're right, they look like they have a team, a glam team. Yeah, real life. You know what I mean? And so when people are watching you on your website or on social media, they are looking for authenticity. They are looking for someone who's relatable. Someone that they can relate to, and okay, well, she looks like me, or look, I've got freckles. You can see my freckles. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have freckles. So that simple thing is like, oh, okay. Well, let me listen to what she has to say. So it really is about being relatable. I know it's scary, but just like with any other thing that's scary in life, at some point you're just gonna have to step out there and do it, guys. Just try it. You would surprise yourself. I would suggest, though, that give yourself a limit. You know what? Start with recorded video. If live video is not your thing, if you're really not ready to do that. But give yourself a limit on the number of times that you're going to record a video. Because if you don't, 10 times in, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. So just say, you know what? 3 or 4 times, that's my limit, and move on. You would be surprised that while you're nitpicking yourself about what you said and what you did, and oh my gosh, I look like that. What happened? Look at my hair. Nobody's looking at that but you. They are waiting for your message. They want to see what you have to say. So video, and more video. How about that? So, okay. One other thing that I want to talk about today is customer generated content. Now, what is customer generated content? That is when someone has purchased product or service from you. They love it so much that they then go on social media and they talk about it. And they talk about you and how wonderful that, fish taco was, or they enjoyed, that they love the t-shirt. They're wearing the t-shirt that they bought from you and now they're posing, right? And they tag you in it. That is customer generated content. What's so wonderful about that is it's free content for you. You didn't have to create it. You didn't take the time. You didn't have to take the time to sit down and figure out, okay, what am I going to say today? You didn't have to do any of that. Someone loved you so much that they put it out there for you. All you have to do is repost it. It is just that simple. And here's what's good about, I should have looked up the stat. I don't know the stat off the top of my head. Understand this, guys. people will believe the information that they get from customers about your product or service more than they will ever believe anything that you say. It just is. Because people feel like, okay, well, she actually bought it and she liked it versus you creating this whole ad and this whole, thing to make sure you're getting out there. They're going to believe the customer before they believe you. It's just more relatable. It's more believable. If they use it and they liked it, then maybe I'll use it and like it too. Testimonials. Talk about using testimonials on your website, Kim, because you definitely need to do that.
Yeah, it's a huge form of social proof, and it's invaluable because think about the last time you bought something super expensive. You either went on YouTube, you look for reviews, or you look for testimonials. I get asked for testimonials all the time. They're on my website. People still ask me about them. It's so important that people want to understand that you made someone else happy first.
Yes.
And yeah, it's invaluable. And I think just asking for testimonial is something a lot of people miss out on. So after you deliver a product or service, say, hey, would you mind giving me a testimonial? I've gotten a few people to give me a video testimonial, and a written is just fine too. You can put a name and a link behind it, especially if you delivered a service. So that's huge. And something cool that one of my clients is doing is she is selling coloring books to adults. So she has a contest every month for the person who colors one of the pages the best, and she'll pick them. But what she's doing is she has people send it in, and she is posting their submission. So it's like, okay, people are using this item, they're loving it. And I think it kind of induces a little FOMO too, because people are fear of missing out. So it's like, oh, they're having a coloring party, I want in.
Right.
So I think it's just being creative and using your community to, especially if people like you, just using your community to your advantage.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. That's a great word, community. Mm-hmm. Because when you use your customer generated content, when you have people that are sending things into you, you are building a community around your product, around your service, and around your business. These people will talk you up even if you didn't ask about it. Mm-hmm. Okay? So that's a great point, Kim. You can use that to build community. So here's just a small suggestion. When you are putting things out there, when you're selling things either in person or online, create your own branded hashtag that you can use on Instagram. You can also use it on Twitter. We even use hashtags now on LinkedIn. Don't worry with using it on Facebook because Facebook doesn't use it to index any information. But absolutely create your own branded hashtag. That way, when people are buying your product, buying your service, they're talking about you online, they can use that hashtag, and you can use that when you're retweeting it or reposting it as well. So to make sure you're doing that. That's building community and getting all of that information out there. Okay. Well, I think that's all. Let me check the comments. Okay, Tracy, so you say you're pretty comfortable in front of the camera. Fantastic. Hello, Virtual Connect Coaching. Yes, ma'am. All of this. He has some great information today. Kim, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you gave us some gems today. Thank you so much. So, Kim, what's the best way to contact you? So listen, guys, if you need a website, listen up.
Yeah, so the best way to contact me is two ways. So it's through my website, foolishlycreative.com. Okay. And then there's a button that says get started. So I offer complimentary discovery sessions where we talk about your business and ways that we can help. Also, if you just want to email me directly, I'm fine with that. So it's Kim, my first name, Kim, at foolishlycreative.com. And, we can schedule something as well. So those are the best ways to get in contact with me. I'm checking my emails all the time. So I'll be sure to respond back quickly.
If you want to follow Kim, you can follow her on Facebook. I'm putting all of her contact information into the comment section. Make sure you're writing this down or jotting this down or just copying it. So that's her Facebook information. Here is also her Instagram information. So make sure you are, okay, hold on. Did I do that right? No, I didn't. Let's get Instagram. Hold the phone. There we go. There we go. So there is her Instagram information. Make sure you connect with her there. Kim, you also have a free resource for everybody that's online today. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so a while back I had talked about just creating the right content and the right copy for those who are looking to work with you or who would be a good fit. So I have my free Shine Online workbook, and it's targeted towards people in the thought leader, coaching, influencer space. But it could be for any small business. And what it does, it asks you those hard questions like, okay, well, when they go to your site, how do they know it's for them? Who are you targeting? What are their pain points? And it forces you to kind of write it down.
Yeah.
And then it shows you where to place it on your website. And it can be used outside of your website too, but it shows you where to put on your website so that if you're going to make an investment, you're doing it yourself, you hiring somebody, you have this information ahead of time. And then I also have bundled into that a resource guide. So I'm constantly updating. So it's not one of those lead magnets that you have sitting on a shelf or on your computer or whatever. I'm constantly updating this thing with resources that people need, like CRMs and tools and just things to get started. So it's all there. It's in a portal. You can log in anytime and get it. It's not going anywhere, and it's absolutely free.
Fantastic. So guys, please reach out to Kim if you need some help. You need ideas about your website. You know, you need to get a new website going, all of that. Yes. Great, Dexter. Please reach out to her. Dexter said he needs to get a quote.
Awesome.
So, and make sure you download her resource information. As far as I'm concerned, you guys can reach out to me via email. I'm going to, again, put this information into the comment section. My email address is ma@monicahoward.sm.com. You can also reach out to me or follow me on Facebook and Twitter too. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, but you can get to me there on both of those. Monica Howard SM. That's Facebook, that's LinkedIn, and actually on Instagram. I spend most of my time on LinkedIn. So please reach out to me there, connect with me there, Monica Howard 1 on LinkedIn. But you can also reach out to me or find me on my LinkedIn company page. It's just under Monica Howard Social Media Services. Please do that. I do have a resource, a free resource for you guys today. I don't know about you guys. I know we've been talking about the whole Aunt Jemima fiasco. And interesting enough, it brought up a conversation with a couple of people that I know about the fact that as content creators and as creatives, sometimes we are not able to find, if you have a diverse audience. So if you have a diverse audience with Black folk and brown folk, sometimes it's hard to find some stock images, some relevant, current, beautiful stock images of people of color. And you struggle with that. And it takes a long time. So I created a resource of several websites that you can go right to. Some of them are free. Some of them do have a small fee attached, but nothing's outrageous. I'm going to put that there for you guys. So if you want to get that, instead of spending half a day looking for some images, you already have a list available to you. As always, follow me on Facebook. If you're on my Facebook page now, please follow me. If you're on my YouTube page, please hit the subscribe button and then hit the little notification bell right next to it. Thank you guys so much for attending today. I hope you got a lot of great information because I know I did. How about that? But stay tuned. We'll be back. I'll be back soon with more information for you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Yes, Dexter, you're welcome. Thank you so much. And we will talk to you soon. Thanks for coming.
Bye-bye. Bye.